Hi, my name is Richard Amster. I'm one of the chef instructors at Suffolk County Community College's Culinary Arts and Hospitality Center in Riverhead, New York. This demo is the production of pastry cream. Pastry cream is one of the essential ingredients in a bake shop. It's used as fillings, pie fillings, fillings for pâté choux, cream puffs, eclairs, and the like, and many other uses. The production of pastry cream is multi-step. The first thing that we're going to do is combine 3 ounces of sugar with a pint of milk and bring that to a hard simmer to the point where we start to see steam coming off of the pot. So let's get that started. This is 3 ounces of sugar and a pint of milk. You can think of pastry cream as probably the best vanilla pudding you've ever eaten, or chocolate pudding, or butterscotch pudding, or coconut filling. So let's get that going. So while we're waiting for the milk and the 3 ounces of sugar to come to a steam, I'm going to sift another 3 ounces of sugar and 1.25 ounces of cornstarch into a mixing bowl. Pastry cream is a type of cooked custard, and the 2 thickening agents in pastry cream today are going to be egg yolks and cornstarch. So it's important that all of that cornstarch get in. Sifting, of course, allows us to take anything that's not supposed to be in the mixture out of the mixture, in this case some hard crystals of sugar. Now, while this is still steaming, what I want to do is add in 3 yolks and an entire egg and make a paste out of this mixture here. All right, as you can see, we've got 3 yolks, an egg, another 3 ounces of sugar, and 1.25 ounces of cornstarch. We want to make a paste out of all of this. So carefully with a whisk attachment, make a smooth paste. Make sure you get all of the material into that paste. At the same time, the milk has come to a hard simmer. And what we want to do now is add about half of that very hot milk and sugar mixture to this very fragile yolk, egg, sugar, and cornstarch mixture. In order to avoid having that hot milk cook these yolks, we want to do what's known as temper some of this into that. And the easiest way I know to do that is to take a wet side towel and make a bit of a collar out of it that this bowl will fit securely into, and this allows you to whisk without the bowl moving all over the place. Again, very hot, very fragile. We do not want to cook those yolks. So a little bit at a time while you're whisking. And once you get about half of that milk in, you can be done tempering. And that about does it. The next step is going to be bringing this mixture back to a hard simmer or boil, adding this to the simmering milk and sugar mixture, and then whisking consistently, constantly, quickly in order to activate the cornstarch, allow the egg and the egg yolks to thicken, and produce a pudding. The problem is that if we don't do this quickly, the eggs will cook. So before I even add any of this to that, I'm going to be whisking the milk. This is not very deep. It's about 1/2 of an inch deep. And literally, the action of pouring this in here, the first drops of this that hit this, could conceivably cook those eggs. That's why I want to be whisking the whole time. Now, just a word about whisking. You notice that when I whisk, I'm holding the whisk like this with my index finger down, and it's all from the wrist. Some people will whisk like this, very tiresome and inefficient. Some people whisk like this from the elbow, also tiresome and inefficient. Try to do it from the wrist. You can do it for a much longer period of time and much faster. So, all at once we add this, whisking the whole time, and we're going to whisk this until it comes to a boil, or what I commonly refer to as the bloop motion. We're generating a lot of foam, and as this cooks, that foam is going to get sucked down into the pastry cream. And as soon as that pastry cream pops, we're done. Pop, pop, pop. There we can see it bubbling. We take it off. The last step is to add butter and vanilla. And let the heat of that pudding melt the butter, distribute the vanilla. And what we have here is a very nice vanilla pastry cream. Or, as I said, the best vanilla pudding you've ever tried. Now, in order to convert this to a chocolate pastry cream, very simple, add 2 ounces of chocolate. More or less to taste, that's up to you. Now, as with the pâte choux, we want this to cool. So we're going to spread this out onto a plastic wrap lined sheet tray. And we're going to spread this out. Again, the idea is hot, dense mass, spread nice and thin, cools much faster. And then the last thing we're going to do, in order to prevent a skin from forming on that pastry cream, is cover this with another piece of plastic wrap. Put the plastic wrap directly on top of the pastry cream so that there's no air between the pastry cream and that top sheet of plastic wrap. This will cool in the refrigerator in about 5 minutes because it's nice and thin, and then we're ready to work with it.